Hey guys, 27th of March 2021. We got a little bit of a hazy day up there, but I'll be honest with you, it's just cool as cool can be right now. It's not tacky at all. Feels kind of nice after all the heat we had. So I just wanted to mention something if you guys, whenever this dang place ever opens up, if it ever does, about if you come here, be careful with what kind of equipment you bring to record your trip if you're just visiting, because there's, I've had so much problems with recording devices, and I'm going to show you what I found that works good. Now, this phone here, Samsung phone, I don't trust it. It took all of my photos that I had when it did an update, and I lost a bunch of them. This digital stuff, I just don't like. I just don't like it anymore. I was really into the days of the 35mm film. I had 2 1/4 Mamiya cameras, and I had a Hasselblad. I had some good stuff. Had my own developing gear. But I still lost those to an ex-wife. Plus, I had pictures from my grandparents that had absolutely nothing to do with her family, and she refuses to give them to me. So it is what it is. But one of the things I want to tell you, if you're going to spend money and buy a new camera to come to the Philippines, I'm going to highly recommend. You see this job right here? Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I'm going to turn it on just to see if it does what it usually does. Okay, there's the on button. Ah, there it is. There. Okay. The door is not locked properly. It does that all the time. Lately, when I go to turn it on, card error. It'll do that no matter what card I put in there. You can't take a picture with it. It's just so much of a hassle. I would like to find somebody that's trying to rob me and beat him in the head with this. It's just the biggest piece of junk. So do not put your trust in this company at all. It's just an absolute piece of crap. I bought it because it was waterproof. I had a Casio. And I thought, well, if it's waterproof, the ants are going to get it. The ants got my Casio and just ate it. So, that was just my thinking that, well, this will be a pretty good one. There were some decent reviews on it. Well, the Rickshaw review says 1 thumbs down. Well, 2, because I got another one. Absolute piece of junk, so don't trust it. And it was fairly decent price. Now, this one here, I bought for my daughter on a price point. It was under $100, and it's a Nikon. The one thing I don't like about it is when you turn it on, see how that pops out? If you hit this, it's damaged. Oh, hang on. Funny guy, smiley. But it takes fantastic pictures on auto. My daughter's got a bunch of pictures. When you hit the button to turn it on, it turns on very quickly. And when you press the button, the shutter button, it takes the picture quickly. It doesn't dilly-dally. It's not one of these ones that takes 2 seconds. So they're getting better. And even though this is it's a Nikon Coolpix 16.1 megapixel with a wide 5 zoom. I don't know the model. Oh, let's see. A10. It's called an A10. Great little camera for the money. Under $100. It does take fabulous pictures. Now, you can transfer them over to your computer or whatever you want. Just, this one's supposed to do that. This thing's supposed to be able to transfer to my phone and all that. And it did that for the first couple days I was playing with it. And then it decided, nope, sorry, we're not going to transfer anything anymore. Even with an update and all the crap. So stay away from anything Fuji. They should have kept them on the mountain in Japan, wherever the hell they come from, these guys. They're just absolutely crap. Now, I know a lot of guys who use the, what the heck is that other camera? I can't even think of the name, but now I'm on a brain freeze. But it's the popular camera for taking the digital, like my Sony. I like this one. It came with a waterproof case. You can't see the camera now because I'm using it, but came with this nice case. This will get mounted. I'm going to get another one. This will get mounted to my helmet and stay on the bike. I'm going to drill the back of it and take the cover off of the back cover off this so I can insert my mic when I'm riding on the motorcycle. And it'll give me a little bit of protection for that. And the other camera was the GoPro. I see guys have some nice luck. Now, when I was first starting and watching the different people that were vlogging, I was impressed with the people who had this camera because the stabilization was good. Some of the GoPro, even though they were this 4 megapixel or whatever the heck these numbers are, my eyes aren't good enough to tell the difference, especially on a phone. But it just seemed so superior. Now, in this country, though, you know, if you're visiting, it doesn't matter. But if you live in this country and get one and you need service for this thing, just bend over and take it. Because Sony, it's one thing about Sony, they just don't give a flying fart about Filipinos. You're getting no customer care. Go on the British Biker. I think he's on Raptor right now. He did some videos on you, and I can't get parts for it. They got all these beautiful parts they advertise. Sorry, can't get them here. You know, we're a geological oddity. We're nowhere to nowhere. You know, I remember on the one movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? We said, what a geological oddity. You're 2 weeks from everywhere. Well, the Philippines is nowhere to nowhere. A lot of things you're just not going to get here, guys. I don't know if it's government getting in the way or Sony just says, screw you guys, or they, you know, people just don't buy this camera because they think it's expensive. Personally, myself, I think the most expensive thing that could happen to you is you spend a fortune on a trip here to the Philippines and you document everything on this camera, and when you get home, the camera decides, sorry, you can't have any of that images that you took while you were there. That's pretty expensive. So when it comes to your photographic equipment, pay the money and get something good. Read all the reviews. Listen to us guys that are here on the ground. You know, I take really good care of my equipment. I love this Sony. It's a FDR 3000X. I do have the little watch thingy. I'll probably use that when I'm on the motorcycle. I have a real nice bracket. I already have all the stuff to connect it to the bike onto the handlebars so that when I'm adjusting the camera that I can see. I gotta get somebody who knows this thing. I lost the owner's manual to it. I've tried to get another one through Sony to get them to mail me one or me one or something. I even looked online, couldn't find one. My internet here is really unstable, so it's just a pain. But the dang thing, when I first got it, I could put it on and it would just work. It would work and work and work. And then I must have hit a button wrong or something where now it runs for about 10 seconds and then shuts itself off. I don't know if it's a glitch in its system, if it's just bad, or if I pushed a button somewhere that I shouldn't have. I have on this Sony camera, was going into the menu to do certain things to try to change the wide angle, and I accidentally changed it to picture, and you got to go through the whole thing, and that's kind of sucks. I wish they would make simplified versions for us old dolts like me. You know, this tech stuff. I'm getting it. You know, I remember when I did my first couple videos on the Piaggio, guys, I'm a work in progress, and that's around the world. That's everything encompassing, from the camera work to, you know, my views on things. You know, we all live and learn, and if you really want to get schooled, you come live here for 8 years. You will learn a lot. You will learn a lot. But I do say something I knew from when I was here, when I was very young until now. In general, the Filipino people have not changed. They're just super sweet people. It's bred into their nature. Now, you do get some that have the Spanish backgrounds and they're hotheads and all that, but I don't think the Spaniards could breed out the sweet nature of these people. My grandfather used to have a saying that people are salt of the earth, and I truly believe that here. So I put out things here. Some people say I'm complaining and whining. Some guy put on there, yeah, this is the blah, 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 what a horrible. Yeah. I'm just warning you guys of things I see. It's not all bad. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Very small amounts are the bad things. It's just a percentage. So it is squeaky wheel gets the grease, and I'm warning you of things that can happen to you. Now, there's other places you go. One of the things I talked about in the video was the driving. And I did remember when we went to Mindoro, we drove, we landed at Calapan. We drove all the way to I think it's I don't know if it's Puerto Princesa or Puerto Vallarta or something like that. High-end area, beautiful homes. We saw a lot of beautiful homes. We saw land cheap. It was really something. Then we drove down to Bongabong on the Bongabong River to visit her sister, and then we headed all the way south. We were down, I can't remember the town, I think it was Rojas. We went all the way down there and up the other side of the island. And I encountered minor traffic in one of the towns, and when I got down there, neat as a pin, clean as a whistle, the friendliest people you meet. The roads were good the whole way. Now, I also went on a trip to southern Leyte, not the northern part. I started at Tacloban and I went all the way down to Chalago and back up. There, it was much more crowded. The buses were old, beat up. The jeepneys were pretty beat. The roads were horrible. You'd go through town where you had a nice piece of road, and then you went right back onto the rubble. Beaches were something that you walk on the beach without a pair of shoes on, your feet will be bloody because it's not sand yet. It's still seashells, and broken ones at that. But I had loved it down there too, though. I just warn you about what you'll see when you get there. But beautiful place. Now, that was one of the places that I did took a lot of pictures. It was my first time I took just a digital camera, and the first one I had, everything went onto a memory in the camera, and then what you had to do is, after you took so many pictures, you had to unload them. So I was being real careful. I didn't put the resolution super high, and I went ahead and was sparing with my photos. If I took a picture and I didn't like it, I just deleted it so I wouldn't fill up the camera on that Leyte trip. Well, I had the dang thing, and I got back to home with the camera in my bag and my carry-on, and when I got home, nothing. I couldn't get anything out of it. I took it to the place where I bought it, asked them if they could get all the pictures. Nope, gone. So I would recommend also, if you're going to record your wonderful trip here, to have a backup camera. If you come with your sweetie or anything like that, let them take a lot of pictures too. The phones seem to be doing a good thing. I like the idea of the phones because you can send a picture right away. You don't have to worry if your phone gets lost or broken or just one of these things that happens with technology, that you can send it to your own Messenger account. I do that on a lot of pictures. I get a lot of pictures that way. I think the Messenger is fantastic, and I do like the idea of the phone. Like if I'm talking to my brothers in the States, and I could send them pictures of the house when we were there. I'm able to send them the videos, some of the videos on Messenger if they're not too long. So that's a good way to go. I personally think that's a good way to go, so that you can get those pictures out there before they're lost for some technological reason or another. Who knows? Maybe an EMP burst is going to hit us. You never know what's going to happen in this crazy, screwy world. But just think about your equipment that you come with. Don't be flashing it. Do not be flashing your equipment around. I know when I came, come back, okay? Our waterman, he hasn't come for a week. We've been hollering at him a week to come, and we had to actually go up and buy some water. And we always tip him good. I don't know why he wouldn't come back. I hope he comes back today, but don't flash your cameras. I know when I was here before, one of the early times, this was in early 2000s, I had Nikon strung around my neck. I had my bags with all the camera stuff and my thing I wore, and people were saying, hey, watch out, a little kid will run up and grab something, and some of the lenses I had were thousands of dollars. So, and then leaving them in the hotel, they told me, Neil, if you come back again. We actually left what I wasn't using with a family friend. The fellow was a policeman. They were always home. They had a store there. There was a bunch of people living there. They had family that were renting in a room from this guy. Very nice, safe compound. And the policeman was there, and a lot of his buddies would always stop by because they had a little canteen, and it was right in the center of Olongapo, not too far from the ocean. So it was safe there, but every time, subsequent times that I come back, I just didn't bring that, and I don't flash it. A thing you can do too is these. You can get really good cameras now, incredibly cheap. Have a couple in case if one disappears. This one, like I say, you can transfer stuff off of here quickly to your phone or to anything. It's got a Wi-Fi in it, or you can use the cord. If I use the cord, it transfers like lightning fast. The Wi-Fi is a little bit slower, but not much. It's the Wi-Fi between the phone and the camera. So, that's another avenue you can travel in your recording of the wonderful Philippines or any trip where you go. So that's my little tips on cameras. I'm going to tell you again, I love this Sony. It's really nice. It's small. I remember I have a brother that hit the lottery, and he's going to videotape his kids and all this stuff. And I'm not kidding. He went out and at the time he bought the best camcorder you could get, and it looked like one of the TV crews. You held it on your shoulders, and you had to be an 800-pound gorilla to carry this thing, and it was pretty cool. It had interchangeable lenses. I think he paid about 15 grand for this thing, and the cheap lens was $4 or $5 grand. But he had a really good lens. He let me use it one time, not just right there at his place, and I was zooming in on it. I was like, man, this thing's really great. But you want to know something? Inside, what goes normally inside this little box here does every damn thing that camera could ever dream of doing. Now, it doesn't have the zoom capabilities of that camera, but it's got this, what do they call it, 4K resolution or something we could put on there. I don't use it. I change everything to the 560 to put on YouTube. So, but I can do the really fancy videos if I want to put them on a computer or send them to somebody. It takes forever, but I'm sure they got some other ones that you can really zoom with. I don't know how that's going to work. I see the phones too. You can do super zooms on the phone. There's a little thing that snaps to the back of this phone, and I don't know. I got to shut this guy off. But they got a zoom thing. I haven't bought one yet. I was thinking of doing it, at least for my wife's camera, but one of our buddies got one, and I haven't seen it or played with it or anything, but it snaps the back of the camera. It's about so long, and it like gives you this super zoom. And he sent some pictures. He sent me a picture just with the camera, and then he went through the different zooms that it has. And this thing was just really cool. Now, he does have that Samsung, I believe it's the S20. That thing has a superior camera. I keep saying I don't want to get a Samsung, but you just got to love that camera. I mean, some of the pictures this fella's taken they're just breathtaking. He's one of the drone flying guys out here, one of the expats here, and we've been going back and forth. I do want to get a drone again. They got some fantastic cameras on them. I've been thinking of the Mavic. I wish that they'd make another one, but I do have one of the subscribers had a very expensive drone. I believe he did say it was a Mavic, and he was doing beautiful drone pictures and stuff, and he said one day it just flew off and he never got it. He said he's sure it landed somewhere and somebody saw it and grabbed it and took off. And he said he had his name and phone number and everything stuck to it, but it's lost and gone forever. Oh, my darling Clementine. But that's something you got to watch out for too. I had the first drone I ever had was a little cheapie, and I took it here and I set it to go up in the air, and all of a sudden there was no control over it. It just kept going up. The wind took it and it took it over the field somewhere. My eShine drone I had decided to fly off. It flew off many times, but we were able to get it because I had I was watching on the phone to see where it landed, and I was able to get it. And then all of a sudden this last time it took off and just, it turned into Clementine. So I'm kind of hesitant about that. I don't like the idea. I wish they had a radio tracking thing on these, like a little finder that you could go find them. But sadly, I haven't seen anything like that yet. But for me to spend a bunch of money on something like that and then it just to fly off and we lose it, I can't justify that yet. Until they perfect this technology and they do it a little bit better, I'm still hesitant. I'm always a slow person to buy things, except this POS. I actually looked at an Olympus. It was a something 5. I was going to get that one. I thought, well, this one's real cheap. I just want to keep it in the bag so we can take it to the ocean, and I don't have to worry about the ants eating it. I'll just get that one. It's good enough. And the reviews were all good on it, but I will be getting the Olympus one probably down the road here. Because I had an Olympus camera. My buddy had one. My buddy had a cheap $49 Olympus camera that took pictures that would rival anything. Plus, it took videos. This dang thing, he would put it on his motorcycle, screwed into the bottom. He had made a little custom plastic housing. He works at a plastic place, and they form plastics. They make all kinds, clear plastics, opaque plastics. They even make wheels for toys, on these big machines that are huge. They're as big as a house, just to make wheels for toys. But he made a nice housing for it. And he's got some stuff he sent me riding his motorcycle. He was a motorcycle rider out in the Midwest with me they're just really good. And I said, "You're doing that with the camera?" He goes, "Yeah. It shakes a little bit. It shakes just a tiny bit." So he designed this mount that was a little bit smoother. And then also he changed bikes. He changed into a 4-cylinder, and he did some cushioning on his handlebars and all that. And it's got the shake down to where it rivals any GoPro I've seen. And he's got it mounted to his handlebar. He also has a thing. He has a mount on his helmet, but he said it's just too big and stupid. He goes down the road. He's afraid he's going to have a bird strike and flame out. So, but there's a lot of things you can do. Don't want to get this one too long, but just remember, pray for each other. Thank the good Lord for every breath you get, guys, because you are not promised another one. You're here until the good Lord says you're not. So do the best you can. Take care of this body that he gave you. I thank him every day. I actually have been praying fervently that he could remove demons from my body, and it's starting to happen. I still have a little bit of this heart thing beating. The doctors don't know what that is. My stomach is a little off. I truly blame that on amoeba, because I never had problems before I had that amoeba. And it seemed like after that's when everything started. But it seems like the good Lord is pulling one demon out at a time, because I am starting to feel somewhat better. I'm not having the troubles with the stomach like I was. The heart rate, it hasn't gone over 135 in 3 weeks. I think about 3 weeks now. So that's really good. I still got this burping thing. If I eat, I'm burping. My acid, I did a test here one time where I take a good shot right before I eat. I take a good shot of cider vinegar, and then I'll eat, and it seems like that I won't be burping so much afterwards. Now, I did have a pH test tested on my stomach, and I was within the range of what they called good, between 1 and 1.5 pH. So I went to doctors for quite a while, and they just said, "Hey, we can't tell you." They found other things that they said were wrong, but I was tested. Every organ in the body was tested, everything, and they just said, "Hey, sorry, we don't know what's going on." I still blame the stomach, and I blame the amoeba for just lingering around. When they went to kill the amoeba, they gave me just draconian drugs. I think that messed up my intestines, the Supro and the other stuff they gave me, 2 different ones. And after 30 days, hey, guys! After the 30 days, when I went back, and the doctor was very thorough down at Binion, he took blood and everything. He says, "Hey, something, we really haven't got it all yet." Had to put me on another 30 days of this stuff. So that probably really wrecked the intestines and all that. I was doing as much probiotics as I could. I was online fermenting the onions from a guy I watched on there, and the cabbage and all that stuff, to try to get as much of that in me as I can. I was eating the Japanese probiotics, but used to be when I was When I was young, if I ate within a half hour, I pooped 3 to 4 times a day, depending on how many times I ate. And anymore, I'm lucky if it's one, and I do get constipated where I'll go 2-3 days where I can't go. So my gut is, I'm still trying to work out the gut. Anybody got any clues on that one to help me out? I'm doing as much of the probiotics and fermented stuff I can eat. I do my best to stay away from processed foods, and you know, it's slow progress, and I think the good Lord, I keep asking him to remove these demons, and it's happening. I mean, if you pray to him, he will change things in your life and in the lives around you. It's really good how it is. So you guys all take care and enjoy your day. And this is Rick Shaw out.